Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Football and welcome to another episode of the Prediction Show. The season is almost over, believe it or not. We have around maybe 2 months to go before the season ends, and I'm hoping to catch up with the experts because I've been losing. I've been losing recently, and hopefully I do catch up. So my guest today is Doug, a guy who's been on the show already twice this season, and he's absolutely smashed me. Like a combination of skill and luck. Like last time he beat me, I think it was 14-8, and some of those points came from Liverpool scoring in the last minute. He literally predicted 1-0 to Liverpool, and they scored in the very last minute against Wolves. So a bit of skill and luck. So hopefully, I think a combined score of like 25-8, 25-10 or something this season. So hopefully I close that gap. Doug, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, Glenn. Thank you very much for having me once again. And yeah, it's yeah, you need to try and try and beat me, but no, it's an absolute pleasure to be back on, and I'm looking forward to it.
It's turning out to be like Liverpool and Norwich. You guys have played them like 4 times this season and you've always beat them. That's like basically Doug and Glen this season. So hopefully that changes. So as you can see, I'm currently losing 14-9 and Doug has contributed 2 of those 14 points. So hopefully I can make it 14-10. This week we have a full list of fixtures, 10 fixtures this weekend. We're obviously not going to go through the midweek fixtures, the games in hand. You're just going to do the 10 fixtures. And first game this week is actually a very interesting one. We're going to have Leicester against Leeds United. Now, I'm interested to see or hear what Doug has to say about this game because Leeds, new manager, Leicester, Vardy back. Maddison should probably start this one. Is it going to be another bad result for Leeds, or do you expect them to bounce back right away?
Yeah, it is a tricky one to call. I mean, if Leicester hadn't won against Burnley midweek, then I would have probably said that this would probably end in a draw. But actually, looking at Leicester at home, Leeds aren't great away. And I'm not sure about Jesse Marsh's manager. I know what the American owners are trying to get with Jesse Marsh coming in. I think they should have waited till the summer. I think they should have waited until Bielsa was going to leave in the summer. Obviously, they made the decision now. I think it might backfire on them. I fancy Leicester in this one. I'm going to go 2-1 to the Foxes.
2-1 to Leicester. I can literally see it being more goals. I remember last season Leeds actually went there and beat them at the King Power, but this time I think it's going to be more goals. Vardy, Maddison, especially if they defend the same way, I'm going to go for 3-1 to Leicester, a win for Leicester, 3-1 there. The second fixture on Saturday, Burnley against Chelsea. Burnley surprisingly had gone like 4 or 5 games without losing, but as you said, they lost to Leicester the other day. Chelsea next. Chelsea, they've had to really squeeze some results from different places, like Luton. They had to get 2 late goals against Crystal Palace. They had to spend the 90th minute against Palmeiras in the Club World Cup. They had to wait for a penalty in the last 2 minutes. So do you think it's going to be another struggle, or do you think the Abramovich thing will affect them in this game, or do you think Burnley without the likes of Ben Mee, how is this one going to go?
I think it is going to be another struggle. I think it's going to be like what Liverpool did at Burnley. Was get the early goal, and I think they're going to have to defend because I think Burnley will definitely give pressure onto Chelsea. I don't think Chelsea are playing great at the moment. I think they're getting through games as you obviously said. I mean, that Luton game, they were very very lucky to get a result there. And Kepa's penalty, I think, is definitely not landed in my back garden. Don't know if it's landed in your back garden yet. But I think, having said that, I'm going to go 1-0 Chelsea. I think it will be a very, very close game, but I think Chelsea will just sneak it in the end, 1-0.
Surprisingly, I'm going to go for more goals. It does look like a 1-0, but I think Chelsea will get 2, and I think Burnley will get 1. I agree with the win for Chelsea, but 2-1 to Chelsea, and I definitely agree with everything you said. At the same time, we will have Wolves against Crystal Palace. A very, very tough one to predict. Wolves, as we always know, they don't concede a lot, but they don't score a lot. And Crystal Palace are a funny team. They could turn up and score 4 against Watford. Next week, they give Chelsea a very tough game, and then the next week they get beaten or they get a draw against Burnley. Like, they're all over the place. So how do you think this one is going to go?
Yeah, it's a tough one to call. Wolves probably had their worst performance against West Ham the weekend, and Crystal Palace. I was one with Burnley, and they beat Stoke as well. But I think they're getting players back at the right time. But I just think at Molineux, Wolves are very, very tricky to beat. Not many teams have gone there and won. Obviously, Arsenal have won there. I think Liverpool have won there. Man United have won there. So it's a very, very hard place to go and win. But a Crystal Palace is a dangerous outfit away from home. But that being said, I'm actually going to go for a Wolves win. I think they need to bounce back, and I don't think they lose 2 games in a row very often. So I'm going to go 2-0 to Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Wow, a clean sheet as well. Interesting. I don't know if this team's having midweek games will affect them, because I think Wolves is also playing in midweek, I think on Wednesday or something. But I'm going to go for Wolves 1, Crystal Palace 1. I'm going to go for a draw there. That looks like a draw written all over it. At the same time, we will have Aston Villa against Southampton. Now, this game last season, Ings was playing for the other team. Southampton, I think they won like 4-2 or something. Ward-Prowse scored 2 free kicks in this game. Back then, there was no fans at the stadium. So Aston Villa won last game, much needed win against Brighton. Southampton have been playing well. Obviously, they have a draw against Man City now in the FA Cup. They've done so well against several teams. So how do you think this game is going to go? And do you think which of these 2 teams do you think will finish ahead of the other?
I'm going to say Southampton. I think Southampton have been excellent this season. I think loads of people said at the start of the season they might be one of the ones to maybe go down, maybe struggling obviously mid-table, but they've been fantastic, absolutely fantastic form. Finished 4-3 the last season. I remember this game very, very well, and as you say, I think Danny Ings scored an absolute perler for Southampton, and Ward-Prowse as well. Villa did need that win against Brighton, because I don't think they had won since November, I think, if I remember rightly. So long time for going out without a Premier League win. But Southampton have just got something going for them, and I'm actually going to say that they will go to Villa Park, and I'm going to go for them to win by 2-1.
Oh wow, a win for Southampton away again, and back-to-back wins at Villa Park for Southampton. Interesting. Villa with this guy, former Liverpool player, they've been doing good with them. Jacob Ramsey with Watkins has started scoring again. So I'm going to go for another draw here, another high-scoring draw. Aston Villa 2, Southampton 2. It's going to be a very good game to watch, though. So you're going for Southampton to finish ahead of Aston Villa. Very, very interesting. The next game at the same time is another very interesting one. We have Newcastle against Brighton. Now, Newcastle, I think they've not lost in quite a while. And Brighton, they've been losing a lot of games. Do you think it's going to be another loss for Brighton yet again?
No, I don't. And the reason is they have never lost to Newcastle in the Premier League. As far as I remember, they have never, ever lost to Newcastle in the Premier League. And they've never conceded away against Newcastle either. So 2 things are on the line here. Fair play to Newcastle. I think they've been very, very good as well. But Brighton away from home are much better away from home than they are at the Amex. So with that being said, I think that Newcastle will get something out of the game. But I'm gonna give Brighton a draw. I'm gonna give a 1-1 draw in this game.
You actually pointed out some stuff I didn't know about them. Like never scoring and never conceding or something away from home. I know last season there's a time they were like 17th and 18th, and Brighton literally beat them 3-0, and Newcastle fans were crying, and so I think they beat them 3-0 at home and 3-0 away. I think I'm going to go for another Brighton win. I'm going to go for, I know Newcastle, they can't just keep on winning and drawing games. They got a good draw against West Ham 2 weeks ago. Obviously, they won a couple of games as well. I'm going to go for Brighton 2, Newcastle 1. So you've gone fast on the first 5 games. I'll go fast on the next 5 games. And the first one is a this is a 6 points or something like a 9 points of this. And this is a huge game. Now, Norwich, looking at this game, Norwich look like the team that could win this one, but Brentford have to get results from somewhere, surely, because if they lose this one, then my prediction of them staying up could be under a lot of danger. So I think, unfortunately for them, I don't think they'll win, but I think they could get something from the game. I think it's going to be a couple of goals in this game. I'm going to go for Norwich 2, Brentford 2.
Ooh, interesting. Yeah, I'm like you. I predicted Brentford to stay up at the end of the season. I think I said them to be 17th. So 17th is looking pretty good at the moment for them. This is a must-win for both sides. We all know this. Norwich sitting bottom of the league. Brentford sitting not very comfortable in sort of 16th at the moment.
Yeah.
If there was ever a game that Brentford needed to win, it was this one.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to Brentford. I think they've got to start winning, and I just think that if Norwich lose this, I think they've got Chelsea coming up soon as well. They've got a horrible run. This is a must-win for Norwich. When they have must-win games, they always tend to either lose or draw. So for me, Brentford get the points here, 1-0.
Wow, that will be interesting. That is actually a very good game to watch. At the same time as well, the likes of Aston Villa and Southampton. And then the last game on Saturday, the late kickoff, is going to be Liverpool against West Ham. Doug's team, you would remember last time when you played this team, they beat you by 3-2 at their place. And they actually played really well that day. I think you guys scored from a free kick trench or something that day. And this time, I mean, West Ham have not looked good at all. I don't think they've looked convincing since they played against Kidderminster. I don't think they've looked good since then. They've struggled in a lot of games. As you said, yes, Wolves did lose against West Ham. West Ham played okay that day, but they've never really been 100% convinced in the last 1 month. So I think they'll get a goal. I think Bowen or Antonio can get a goal here, but I think Liverpool will win it. You guys need to keep up with Manchester City. We'll come to Manchester City's game later. I think you'll win this game by 2-1.
Interesting. I think West Ham have been a bit hit and miss recently, but I think that's because of like a lack of investment in the January window. I know January is a really hard window as well. Us winning the Carabao Cup was absolutely massive, and as obviously we like to joke about Kepa's missed penalty. I just think we're in very, very good form at the moment. We seem to be playing very, very well at this moment in time, and I think West Ham are the only team that could potentially do the double over us as well. They're looking for their first win at Anfield since 15-16 when they ran out 3-0 winners. But then again, we did have a bit of a bad team that season as well. I just think the firepower of Luis Diaz, Sadio Mane, and Mohamed Salah will have too much, and I just think we're going to come out comfortable winners. I'm going 3-1 Liverpool.
Jota will be on the bench for that one?
I believe so, yes. I think it will still be Diaz, Salah and Mane up front.
I think you're playing Inter Milan midweek or something.
Yes, we are, yeah.
So I think that game is done, but I don't think Klopp will take it lightly anyway. I think he'll still play his first team. So if you get a couple of goals early in this one, you can rest a few players. So you've gone for, Liverpool?
3-1 Liverpool.
3-1. Okay, the next game will be on Sunday, Watford against Arsenal. Now, when Arsenal played Watford last time, really struggled, got only a 1-0 victory. But Watford, again, the last 1 month since Roy Hodgson came in, you never know how the game is going to go. They lose a couple of games 1-0, some they lose 4-1, like they go to Aston Villa and win 1-0 a game I didn't expect them to win. And for Arsenal, their away record the last 3 years has not been great. It's been up and down. But surely if Arsenal is going to finish in the top 4, they have to win this kind of games. And I think Watford will score, but I think Arsenal will get 2. So Watford 1, Arsenal 2.
Interesting. I don't see Watford scoring at all. I think I've been very impressed with the way you guys have been playing recently. And I think Arteta deserves a lot of credit for that as well. I think, as you say, it is a must-win for trying to get top 4 as well. I think you'll have too much for them. I'm going 2-0 Arsenal. I think you'll have too much for them, and I think it'll be a comfortable away win, 2-0.
I definitely love that. The next game will be the big one of the weekend, obviously Manchester United, Manchester derby. Now, what I've been hearing the last 1 week is you never know. United usually beat City at the Etihad. I think they won there 3 times in a row. But the way they used to play with Solskjaer counter-attacking, with Rashford, with Martial, those players are probably not. Martial is no longer there. Rashford might not start this one. So different coach as well. I know City have not been doing well. They were lucky against Everton. I know they were even lucky against Peterborough. Like they had to struggle until the second half. But I can't see it, man. Like if Maguire starts and those kind of players, and they start with Sterling and Ford, then the pace will be too much. So I'm going to go for 3-1 Man City.
Ooh, interesting. as much as it was like Man United to, well, this is one game where I'm like, do I want United to win to help us?
Yeah.
No. I
Mhm.
just cannot want United to win a game at all. I'll be honest with you, Man City were very, very fortunate against Everton. But Manchester United, I mean, I think they had 22 shots and something like 3 on target against Watford. So
Yeah.
it's like a FIFA game. They were
Mhm.
just so wasteful.
Yeah.
But they surely can't be wasteful against Man City. I think Man City will give them space. The way the Man United like to counter attack, I think City struggle against teams like that. So I think this is going to be a very entertaining game. I think there will be goals for both sides. I'm actually going to go for a very high scoring 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw? No way. United, so that will be 4 years without defeat at Etihad, and I think in the last 6 years they've lost one once. If they draw this game, they would have lost once in the last 6 years of the Etihad. That is just crazy. But that would be a good result for United, I guess, and a bad result for Tottenham and Arsenal because they're kind of depending on City to win this game against United. The last game on Monday, Tottenham against Everton. Now, this is one game that both our rivals. I mean, to be fair, obviously, I do want Tottenham to lose this one to help our top 4 battle. If Tottenham gets something, a part of me, Doug, yes, I'm not a Liverpool fan, but a part of me kind of wants to see how Everton deal with the relegation. Like the last 2 months, I want to see how they will deal with it. If they're like 18th or 19th, how will they do in the last 4 or 5 games? But I have to hope that Everton win, but I don't think they will. So I'm going to go for a draw. I'm going to go for Tottenham 1, Everton 1. A big game for both teams.
Oh, it is a big game for both teams. I think I read something. Everton have won one of the last 18 against Tottenham, which is strange. It's like 1 win apiece and I think 3 draws as well. Obviously, Everton did win the last fixture 1-0 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but I mean Tottenham. Beat Man City, beat Leeds, lose to Burnley, and lose to Middlesbrough. It's just very, very Spursy, isn't it?
It is.
I'm going to be honest. I think that Spurs will win this. I can only see them winning this. I think Everton will get a goal, but I just think Spurs will be too strong. I'm going 2-1.
Everton will be in a lot of trouble if they lose this game. By the time they play on Monday, they could even be 18th or 19th. Because if Burnley pick up a point against Chelsea, they'll be in a lot of trouble. Or Norwich, Brentford, one of them will win. So that will be disastrous for Everton. So those are the 10 predictions. As always, let's get to the bonus questions. The first one is one player to definitely score. I'll let you go first, Doug. I think last time you said Jota to score against Wolves. He should really have scored. There was no goalkeeper.
He should have, yeah.
He should have. So, which player are you going for this time? Since Jota might not start, as you said.
Yeah, I'm not going to say Jota this time.
Tough one.
It's tough.
Leicester, Leeds, Burnley, Chelsea, Wolves, Palace, Villa, Southampton, Newcastle, Brighton, Norwich, Brentford, Liverpool, West Ham, Watford, Arsenal, the Manchester Derby, and Tottenham, Everton.
I am going to go Jamie Vardy.
Jamie Vardy against Leeds. Interesting. I wanted to go Maddison, but I'm going to go for a different game. I'm going to go for Newcastle, Brighton. I'm going to go for Neil Maupay to score against Newcastle. He kind of has a thing of scoring away games. I remember him scoring against Watford, a very good goal against West Ham. So that's my prediction for that one. The next one is the total number of goals scored this match week. Last time you went for 28, I went for 32. There were 27. You missed out by 1 last time. So this time, last week there was only 16 goals in the 10 games, including the Carabao Cup final. A lot of 0-0s and 1-0s. This time I'm going to go for 30 bang on.
30 bang on. I'm going to go 25.
25 goals. Could be. I mean, I can see the likes of Burnley, Chelsea, as you said, to be low scoring, but very capable of having 6 goals in this Leicester Leeds game. Very possible you could have 4 goals in this Liverpool West Ham game, but let's see how it goes. Hopefully, you do get the first win over you this season. Hopefully, it's not 3 out of 3. It's like turning out to be like Chelsea versus Tottenham. You just beat me every time. Thank you for coming on. Where can they follow you?
Yeah, you can find me at the YouTube at the Dugout Football channel. There is my Twitter handle, Enrod_1992. Instagram is Douglas.Horn and Facebook is Douglas James Horn. I'm also on Twitch as well, twitch.tv/Douglas Horn LFC92.
Thank you very much for coming on. Let us know your predictions in the comment section. Let us know which game will have the most goals. Thank you for watching. Keep staying safe, and I'll catch up with you guys soon.